Mm.
Awesome. We are live, you guys. Look at this. I'm going to leave that hand on my nose. Maybe I'll make can you see the hand on my nose?
No.
Ah, that little cursor thing is right on my
Oh.
nose. And it's on my schnoz. Facebook. Hi, welcome to Comic Spot. This is the official place where you guys get to take my fans. Take my fans, please. Take my friends, have my fans. Never mind, it's late. Who really cares what I'm saying? It's not for me that I'm doing this tonight. Comic Spot is so you guys at home can get to know some really great comedians. That's right, you heard it. You can get to know them off stage, behind their mask. I came up with that before the pandemic. I'm pretty proud of that line. I want to say that I'm really happy to be here. And I usually do a nod to my sponsor, but I don't have a sponsor anymore. So I'm my own sponsor. There you go. I am sponsoring myself. Tonight, you have a guest that you're going to enjoy the heck out of. You got to get to know him, take some notes, write down his social media, write down where you can catch him performing live and on Zoom. Do all your due diligence because you're going to adore this lovely, lovely human being I have in front of me while I'm stalling to find his intro. So bear with me, I'm old, in case you can't tell. The guest tonight is the esteemed, yeah, you heard me, esteemed Brendan Praniewicz. Did I pronounce that correctly? Ha, I did it. Awesome. I hate it when my teeth fall out while I'm trying to say a word. That's so embarrassing. Gives away your age and your IQ at the same time. Okay, here we go. I'm scrolling to get to the top of this. I asked for a really long intro that's braggy, and I got what I wished for. So it's not his fault. See, he's already embarrassed, and I haven't even started. Let's get right to it. Brandon Praniewicz is the 21st century Renaissance man. As an artist, he explores creative expression through a myriad of outlets. A photographer, and his work has been exhibited in galleries and magazines. We got to find out about this. He performs stand-up all over the Southwest, and his performances include guitar parodies. Don't we love that? I lost my place. Brendan is also an award-winning writer. Don't fall asleep, Brendan. He's published poetry, creative, nonfiction, and short stories. In addition, he's currently working on a fictional novel called Beat It. He graduated with a Master in Fine Arts degree from San Diego State. Brendan teaches critical thinking, which I could use a lot of, argument and creative writing at Grossmont and Mesa College, as well as distant learning classes in China. Wow. He's received a Teacher of the Year award, as well as other accolades for his pedagogy. That's how I pronounce that. Brendan resides in San Diego. He's a free spirit who lives for adventure and travel. He's a stand-up comedian who performs all over the Southwest. His comedy borders on real-life situations and observation. I like this. He also writes, I already told you that. He produces a monthly show, Oh Be Funny, at JJ Sports Bar in Ocean Beach. So get on down to Ocean Beach. In addition, he co-produces a clean comedy show, 2 Laugh Minimum, with Simon Blackthorne at Cachina del Rancho in Rancho Santa Fe. My teeth didn't pop out saying that. He also is part of a sketch team, 3.5 Laundry Men. And they've had their videos in New Orleans Comedy Showcase, New York Underground Film Festival, the Great Canadian Film Festival, Sketch Up House Party 2, San Diego International Shorts Fest, Real Comedy Fest, and Big Teeth Small Shorts Film Festival. Brendan was a finalist in the U.S. National Comedy Competition. And he's open for, get a load of this, Eric Griffin, Dat Fan, Ian Edwards, and Jamie Kennedy. Oh my gosh. You got to hear that again. Eric Griffin, Dat Fan, Ian Edwards, and Jamie Kennedy. My goodness. Brendan Praniewicz loves writing and he practices daily. He's had poems featured in From Whispers to Roars, the Literary Review, the Dallas Review, the Poet's Choice, the Silent World, Intervase, and Tempered Runes Press. His creative nonfiction has been published by Races E. Moss, the Watershed Review, Driftwood Press, and Goldman Review. Brendan's fiction has been published in Guts magazine. He's also received a second place in first chapter's competition of Seven Hills Review, for Seven Hills Review. In addition, he won first place in the Rhea Askew short story contest. This guy is talented. He won first place in the Rhea Askew short story contest. Brendan's back there counting the words I mispronounced. Brendan studied photography. And we're going to skip past that part, he said. Although that is a long one. And that was the end of his braggy intro that I asked him to give me. So don't blame him. You're going to find out I asked for the braggy intro. He's humble. So don't blame him. Shoot me. Welcome to the stage. Somebody I just got to know. He came on my veteran to military comedy show this last weekend. He's a killer on stage. He just breaks hearts. He's likable. He's hysterically funny. He's pertinent. You're going to love him. Let's get to know him. Let's find out what makes him tick. Welcome to the stage, Brendan Praniewicz. Yay! World's
Thank you for that
intro. Huh?
Thank you for that introduction. I think we covered everything in my life.
Yeah,
I think we're done now.
People are usually like so mad that they gave me a braggy intro, but then I have fun with it. So it's fine. Welcome to Comic Spot. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you've had a wonderful career so far. You know, you got to open for Eric Griffin and Dat Fan and Ian Edwards, and there was one other name that slipped my mind. What was that? Jamie Kennedy.
Right, I opened for Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, wow, I love him. I love him.
He's funny, very funny.
I found that when I was interviewing Jamie Kennedy, I found that I felt like he's very real, very authentically real and sincere, and like that's so rare.
He does. He's very real, and he keeps it from his heart. That's true. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you've made it through the pandemic, staying positive, happy, creating comedy and art. How did the art help you get through the pandemic? How's the pandemic been for you?
I had it's hard. That's a hard question to answer because it was so long. It was like such a long span of time. I'll do the best I can answering this.
You can skip a question too.
No, we'll go for this one. It's good. I work really hard. I teach at the college level, and I've been an adjunct for 18 years now. So I teach a lot of classes. So honestly, it was nice having some time off and being blunt. Absolutely. And to be able to work from home and to work on some projects that I haven't been able to do and just rest a little bit. I think a lot of people just needed rest. And I think that being a creative person, when you're faced with tribulations, you have to adjust and you have to evolve. And it's what a lot of us did. We were doing online comedy shows. That's how I met you. And so there was this whole thriving world of comedy and art that you just had to tap into. It's not like it went away. It just shifted into a new dimension. And then I did get COVID last year. I got COVID, what was it? July? Yeah, late July. And I was sick for about 6 days. My mom and dad got it. A lot of people got it around me, but we survived. It was,
Yes.
there was a lot that happened in that year, and I'm condensing so many things.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you got through COVID and survived. I'm sorry you got it, and I'm sorry your family got it. And they're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing great. Yeah, it was scary when they got it. It was frightening because they're both older. They're both autoimmune deficient and things like that. So that was frightening, but we all pulled through.
Yes, wonderful. So do they live in San Diego as well?
My family lives in Pittsburgh. My dad was in the military, so we were traveling all the time. I was born in Greece and I lived in Germany, and I've lived all over the US. And he retired in Pittsburgh, so they live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, awesome. Well, I like doing the same thing with everybody. And in order for my fans to get to know and love you and want to follow your career, they want to know the same things I'd want to know if I sat down at a restaurant and found out we were both doing comedy. They'd want to know, who were you growing up and when did your funny happen? Who encouraged it? Who discouraged it? Tell us about little Brandon before comedy. You can go short
um,
or you can go long.
I could. Here's my answer to the question. My father is a very funny person. He is the funniest person I know. He's extremely funny, and he doesn't know how to take anything seriously. And sometimes it's really frustrating because you want to have a serious conversation with him, and he just can't. And he has the best timing I've ever seen in my life. It's perfect. And he's bipolar. He's OCD, so he's nutty, but he says the funniest stuff I've ever heard in my life, and he can make me laugh at any time. He's hysterical. So I think that a lot of that rubbed off on me. And I think also, being in the military and having to make friends a lot, like one of the fastest ways to make friends is to be funny.
Yeah, absolutely. When you were little, growing up, you had your dad being funny. And then
Mhm.
in school, did you show your funny side? When did that pop out?
And when I was in Germany, I met these two kids and they were funny. They taught me a lot about humor. One passed away a couple years ago, which is super unfortunate. He was such a good dude, but I learned how to be funny from them, and I learned from my father. And it's hard before that to really joke with my friends, but once I was in that group, we just joked a lot and we just had fun, and it just made life a lot lighter. I think that laughter is therapy. It helps you get through.
Absolutely. A lot of
Mhm.
places use comedy as therapy. It is a
Mhm.
coping mechanism. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry you lost your friend.
Yeah. I just found out about it a couple years ago. His sister reached out to me. So,
Wow. Um, well, just yesterday I found out somebody here locally hung herself.
wow.
So, like I have always taken warning signs very seriously. And, this whole pandemic thing has been so hard emotionally on people in many
Mhm.
ways. And so it's just like a lot of young people are losing their lives to suicide. I don't know if that scenario was suicide, but we funny people mask our feelings and we bury
Mhm.
our feelings, and underneath it all, a lot of times comes from a lot of pain, a lot of rejection. So
Mhm.
comedians are very prone to suicide.
Very prone to suicide. And we come from tortured souls and tortured paths. Our life hasn't been easy. So we're confronting a lot of adversity.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you met these friends in Germany and you had a lifetime of getting to know them and bouncing ideas and creating your funny and learning from them. And like at one point in your life, you jumped off the diving board and said, what could possibly be the problem if I try to really do comedy? And you said, okay, I'll go to an open mic or what path did you take to get where you are?
So I was writing. I'm a writer. I'm really a writer at heart. Like I have a master of fine arts in creative writing. Like I've always been writing. Writing is really my therapy. Like that's how I cope with my emotions and deal with things, and it empowers me. That's where my power comes from. And I was writing a book and about a guy whose life is falling apart and trying to get it together. And he starts doing stand-up comedy. And I wrote the entire book. And then I realized I don't know anything about comedy. And if people read this book, they're going to call me out. I didn't know what a headliner was, or a feature was, or running light was. I didn't know these terminologies. I was just telling jokes I thought were funny in the book, but they were horrible jokes. They didn't have punchlines or setups or tags or anything. So I'm like, if I'm going to get this book right, I better start talking to some comedians. So I had a blog and I was interviewing comedians, and I'd go to shows and I just pick their brains after the show. I was just watching everything you could imagine. I'm a researcher. That's what writers are. You research nonstop. And then like, if I really want to know how to do this then and write about it, then I just have to do it. It's been fun. It's been a lot
Nice.
of fun.
What are some things you learned from it talking to comedians?
Um, I've learned a lot of things from talking to comedians. I've learned that comedy is hard and you're gonna have hard nights. And you know, it's a book Standing Up by Steve Martin. He says it best, like you could have 7 nights of comedy, 2 nights are gonna be the best nights ever. 2 are gonna be okay, and 2 of the other nights are gonna bomb. And it's regardless of your materials, regardless of your performance or how you feel. It's just the way it is. So that's good advice.
Yeah. So these comedians got to know you, and at some point you started feeling the tug to also try it as part of
Yeah,
your research, or is that correct?
it was research. It's still research.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to get it right. And I'm an all or nothing type of person. So what I did was I started taking classes on stand up. I took a class with Tony Calabrese, who lives in San Diego. And I just started learning how to write, how to perform, how to stand, how to put the mic behind you, what a setup was, what a punchline was, what a tag was. And because I don't like to waste my time, I like to know what to do and how to do it. So I learned a lot from that class, and I'm very grateful to him. And I think that every stage as a teacher is not just one teacher. You have many mentors in comedy. Every night is a mentor.
Absolutely. Sometimes even the audience can mentor you when they heckle you or different things, different
That's a
things.
good way of putting it.
And some of the best lines I've gotten by being heckled. And sometimes they come up with better stuff than I can.
Right. Never know. That's comedy. You never know what's going to happen. I think that's something else I've learned from comedy is to get it right. I mean, photography is very similar in terms of this. Is I think comedy is about timing. Comedy is all about timing, personally. But I think that where it coincides with photography is photography. You want to do it right, you have to be here right now. You have to be in this moment. You have to see the whole picture and the small picture. And I think that's where comedy and photography correlate. Is you have to be here right now. If you're anywhere else, well, why are you doing it?
Thank you. I think that being in the moment, like I pride myself in being in it in every moment, whether I'm on, like I don't know that you can just get on stage and be in the moment if you don't practice being in the moment somewhere else. I'm
Right.
all or nothing kind of person too. So I
Mhm.
always practice trying to be in every moment. And there's times when a clerk will hack me off. I'm not in that moment. Don't want to be in that moment.
Right.
Yeah, it's a superpower to be in the moment. That's where I find
Mhm.
my strength.
For real. And I think a lot of it, I think I'm learning this as I get older, is that you just really have to drop a lot of expectation from people for moments and just be there and just accept it for what it is and accept people for who they are. Because you can't really predict things.
Great. That's great. So you've been in a bunch of different clubs and bars, or
Mhm.
just in the San Diego, Southern California? You have roots in Pittsburgh. So
Mhm.
have you done comedy around the country?
I've done comedy. I do a lot of comedy up in Palm Desert. I've done comedy in LA quite a bit, Vegas, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Chicago. So I'm still new. So I mean, it's not like I'm touring nationally right now. I have a lot to learn, but I have been fortunate to be able to do comedy in different places. I travel a lot, and so when I travel, I just try to get on a mic somewhere or get on a show somewhere.
So, to what degree does do you call your dad and tell him your jokes? And is he somebody that adds to them, changes them, or poo-poos them? I have a
No,
brother-in-law. I'll never be able to please my brother-in-law. Never.
I can't really have serious conversations with my dad. I just, it's impossible. I couldn't call my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, I have this idea. What do you think about it? I can make it more funny." Be like, "You need to quit comedy, just start teaching more, or maybe drive for Uber." I'm like, "What?" Like, this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Like, can we just focus on this right now? So I can't have a serious conversation with them. My roommate is funny. I'll bounce off ideas off him. He used to do comedy, so he's a good resource for me. I think it's important to bounce ideas off people. I think the true teacher though is just try it. You gotta try it. You may think
Yeah,
something's super funny. Your roommate and you might think it's super funny, but it might not be.
yeah. Because you and your roommate have certain things in common, and he likes you already, and
Right.
he knows you're funny, and you got to sell yourself to strangers.
Right. I think the mic is the ultimate honesty. That's where you learn what's funny, what's not funny.
I told a joke to my brother-in-law that I wrote, and
Mhm.
he told me what was wrong with it. And then he told me a joke that he always tells to a lady every time he sees her, and she always laughs. And I said, it sounded like a hack joke. And I said, did you write that joke? And he said, no, it's been around. And I'm like, uh, so let me get this straight. The joke that I wrote and I'm willing to tell in front of strangers
Mhm.
compares somehow to something you stole and you tell to the same lady that likes it every time.
Hmm.
Where are we with this conversation?
Sounds pretty hacky.
Totally. What's the craziest thing, having said that, what's the craziest thing you've ever encountered that you're like, I should have had a V8, or I can't believe that this happened in comedy? Crazy,
Income.
weird, hard, stupid, scary, anything. I love these kind of stories.
Mm, Let me think. Um, I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me in comedy. One that was recent was we were at a show in LA, and I'm not mentioning no names. I'm not mentioning the club. I'm not mentioning anybody. But it was a kind of a dead room. It was a quiet room. There weren't that many people. They weren't really listening. It was a sports bar. Everybody's watching sports. I already gave too much away in that last comment. But the headliner goes up and he's doing his material, and these guys come in. They're these tough looking dudes. They might be gangsters and stuff. They're pretty tough, and they do not like what he's saying. And he keeps talking, and they start heckling him. And it starts to accelerate. And I'm hosting the show. I have the light. I give they're going back and forth, like they're ready to fight. Like they're holding this big dude back from beating up the headliner. And I'm like, I'm hosting. I'm like, I just want to get home tonight. I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get stabbed. I just want to do the show, man. And I like the headliner. I'm like, hey, your time's up. He's like, I'm gonna do 5 more minutes making fun of this guy. And he continues to do 5 more minutes, just nonstop bashing this guy. This guy's ready to fight him. Like there's 3 people holding him back, and he's just going off with this microphone. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to run to my car. So that was a wild one. That one was pretty recent. That
Oh,
was after I was on Let's Make a Deal as well. So that was a crazy day. A crazy, crazy day.
you were on Let's Make a Deal. How'd that go?
I had a good time. I can't tell you how it went, but specifically, but I'm under contractual obligations. But
That
you know
tells me
what?
how it went. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that day had a lot of highs and lows. I showed up to the show dressed up like a hippie with bell bottoms, in a tie-dye shirt, and then I'm ready to fight a gangster.
I went on that show. Did you see that I interviewed the host of that show?
No, I didn't see that. That's cool.
He's so cool. So when I went on that show a long time ago,
Mhm.
they have you, dress up and you go from point to point. You check in at this table, go a couple feet, check in at this table, and every person that is under the employ of that show warns you not to piss off Wayne Brady. Did you get the spiel?
No, I didn't get that spiel.
So
Maybe I did, but we're not allowed to talk about it because we're.
So I got told, everybody got told 5 times to Sunday, don't piss off Wayne Brady.
Wow.
And they started rolling the camera, and the first contestant pissed off Wayne Brady by doing something specifically that they had been told over and over not to do. So it was challenging what the gift was going to be. And you don't challenge it. You say thank you. You don't try to get a better gift. I'll go for
Right.
what's behind curtain number 2. No, you get what you get. And so this guy goes, well, I'd like something different, and Wayne goes, well, we all know that shit's not going to happen.
Wow.
All of a sudden,
That's crazy. That's a wild show.
They take him out for a Valium salt lick. Bring him back in. He's all fine. Nothing's happened. They're retaping.
Right. It's crazy. That has to be. Well, he works hard. Like he's doing 3 shows a day. That's so much pressure.
So much. And he's a dad. He's a single dad, or he was back then.
He's a good guy, and he's so talented. I have a lot of respect for Wayne Brady. That has to be so hard dealing with the general public like that. Yeah. Every day they're just expecting all these great things, and you're like, yeah, you get golf clubs. I don't care if you play golf,
Yes. And I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that it's mostly the white people that act like that. That would be funny to hear. So you're a comedian, and on stage you use a guitar.
Right.
So my question to you, Brendan, is, do you get told that you're not really a comedian if you have a guitar? Do you get pressured to put your guitar away and just get serious about comedy?
Okay. When I first started playing guitar, I had a couple people say that's a bad idea, and I have a horrible time listening to people. I'm horrible at taking advice, and I'm the worst. I'm just like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I do. And so I think, honestly, I'm gonna be blunt. I think that I could be wrong because I don't know everything. But I think that a while ago, maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, it was more looked down upon if you were playing music on stage, which was crazy because Steve Martin played banjo on stage. He's like one of the greatest comedians ever. But I think people like Bo Burnham, there's a couple other musical acts. Dimitri Martin plays guitar on stage and things like that. So I think they made it more permissible. And I don't really get people don't really criticize me for playing music.
That's great. So in the LA comedy scene, there's a comedian that moved to Vegas recently named Amir Khalil. Do you know him?
It sounds familiar though.
Because he lives on the other side of that wall. He's in the unit on the other side here. I was just thinking, if you know him, he's right over there.
He's right there. I could just knock.
Probably hears us talking. What do you think of Amir? What do you really think?
I love him. He's such a great guy. In case you're wrong, I don't even know him. He sounds like a nice guy. Like his name.
So who influenced you comedy-wise, or did you influence yourself outside? Because there's 2 ways to do it. Either you idolized somebody, watched everything they did, or you like, leave me alone, I'm going to do it myself. Okay,
this is a good question. When I was 6 years old, my dad went to Korea and he sent us all these VHS tapes. And I was unsupervised for a lot of that time. And so I was going through these VHS tapes because he's like, watch these. He didn't say don't watch these, but I found Eddie Murphy's Delirious, and I watched that. And I'm 6 years old now. That changed my life. I'm like, this is hilarious. I don't know what this is. I don't understand 90% of these jokes, but the jokes I hear that I do understand are the greatest thing I've ever heard. So Eddie Murphy is brilliant, brilliant comedian. And so yeah, watching Eddie Murphy, SNL when I was younger, Adam Sandler, who also plays guitar. Um, but I would say Steve Martin too. It wasn't Steve Martin till later because I didn't know what Steve Martin was doing. I'd watch it. I'd be in the gym. I'd be watching his stuff. I'm like, this isn't funny at all. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? And then I realized he's making fun of comedians, and I'm like, this is hilarious. This is so funny. He's just making fun of comedy. That I loved it. I thought it was so funny, and I like the risks that he took. He was a big risk taker. It's almost like he's the founder of alt comedy. I could be doing some blasphemous stuff right now. That last comment, but to me, he's a founder of alt comedy, and it's not like I'm an alt comic. I'm pretty traditional. I think I don't know, but I think he had a major influence in me. I like George Carlin. George Carlin was such a good writer. Yeah, there's a lot.
Who
But I
is
would
the
say
one? Who's the one comedian you have to meet?
I never think about meeting people. I'm not like never like, I just want to meet this guy, just hang out with them. I usually like, let me think about it. If I could meet one comedian.
Who would you like to have 5 minutes with to get their advice?
5 minutes, but to get their advice. Let me think. I really like Hannibal Buress. I think he's funny. I'd like to know how he writes, his writing process, because he's a very good writer. He writes some really funny things.
That would be interesting. I would like to get to know Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright is good.
Yeah. I'd love to find out what makes him tick, like do you think of the premise? Do you think how do jokes come to you? How do you do this? How do you do this? I mean, I know what I'd be like if I did it. It'd be a mess, but you seem to I couldn't pull it off with a straight face and deadpan delivery.
He's talented. He's so good.
That like if you are doing comedy and you're like this telling a joke and the audience is dying, you got good material. I can't do that. I don't know if, like my material isn't that great, probably never will be. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's a great writer. He's a very good writer.
Yeah. What is your goal in comedy and what is your goal in life? And that's kind of sort of the end of it. And then we'll get to your, where you're going to be performing and your social media after that.
Yeah, absolutely. The only the only goal I have is to grow.
Like that.
Get better. I'm writing a book. I would love to do a book tour and a comedy tour in the future. I think that'd be really fun. And
to
just
do what?
both. A book tour and a comedy tour. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And the only goal I have is to be as creative as possible. And my long-term plan is to see where all this goes. I don't picture myself. I mean, I envision things. I envision cool things, but I'm open. What happens, happens. And I'll just do the best I can.
A lot of people love you. I've had a lot of people tell me you're a cool dude and they love you. So I thank you for your time to come on and let my people get to know you a little and let me get to know you. Thank you. Let everybody know what you have coming up and where on social media they can help you.
Okay, so let me see. I gotta look this up. I'm on the show tomorrow. I just got on it, so that's why I don't know off the top of my head. I'm at a show tomorrow in Oceanside. It is Privateer, the Privateer. And then I'm on a show on Wednesday at Polly Wine Company in San Diego. And then I'm doing a musical act at Madhouse on Thursday. I'm going to show on Thursday at Madhouse Comedy Club in San Diego. And I have
That's
another.
with Tony Calabrese's.
It's Josh Krepp's. Well, Madhouse just booked it. They just booked that one. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar on stage at Madhouse, and they've been listening. They're like, we wanted to have a musical comedian on because it mixes things up and it pulls the audience back. And then I'm at Coomer Craft Winery on Sunday.
Wow, you're getting around.
Busy week.
That's awesome. Did you say you were doing a military show when you came on the military show of ours? You mentioned doing something in San Diego or no?
I've done the VFW. I've done VFW shows. I should be doing military shows because I have a lot. Even though I wasn't in the military was a big part of my life. And as a teacher, I work with veterans all the time. So.
Yes. Absolutely. I think that the Veterans to Military show that I have, it should be modified to grandfather in people who are military adjacent, meaning those that grew up around the military, not just those that were enlisted or officers, but anybody with a sensitivity to the military should be included, I feel.
Right. I mean, there's teachers who teach abroad on bases and things like that. They probably have the best stories and the best jokes and things like that.
Yeah. I want to open that up to be more inclusive of anyone. So that's what I'm doing. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Where do people follow you? The whole point is so you'll get, some of my fans will go and follow you. So where do they follow you on social media best?
That'd be great. And I appreciate you opening things up for me like that. I really appreciate that. I'm on Facebook, Brendan Praniewicz, and I'm on Instagram at Praniewicz.
At Praniewicz?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. If you think of anything else that you didn't say, let me know and I'll type it into the video. I'll go share this, and if you would please share it with your followers, I would appreciate that love back.
For sure.
So you have a very wide career of doing a lot of things, and I wish you, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best with your career. So thank you so much, Brendan.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now I'm stumbling over your first name. What's that about?
I have the most mispronounced first name and last name in history, so it doesn't bother me at all. You got it. You did a great job on me.
Thank you so much, Brendan Praniewicz. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.